What is up, people? I'm feeling a little ranty today, so I need a nice big beer. A nice big angry beer. Today, I want to get into a touchy subject. It's something that divides us and keeps us fighting when we could be working together. It causes us to classify people into groups and assume that we know more about them than we actually do. It forces us into an us and them perspective. And it's something that too many of us are way too touchy about. You guessed it. American online critiques. I've never really touched any controversial topics on this channel, and it's not that I don't feel strongly about anything. It's just the way that I see it. I'm here to build people up, not to tear anyone down. But I can't help but notice all the people that keep putting their work online for a critique, and not to mention the people that are offering critique. It's time to face it. Most artists suck at critique. Way too many groups and online forums and comment sections around the art world are just a fucking mess. Just a bunch of people just polarizing into two camps and just attacking each other, trying to tear each other apart just to feed their own egos. In one camp, I hear a lot of this. Art is freedom and expression, and it should include everyone. And there's no such thing as bad art, it's just about the artist's intention. Now, don't get me wrong, that's a great sentiment. But more often than not, it sounds like
art is a Prozac-soaked chain of endless unicorns and rainbows, and my art is special because I'm special, and if you don't agree, then you must be a monster.
But you know, when you act all sensitive like that, you're just feeding that other camp who thinks it's to be taken seriously, and it's very competitive. And if you can't handle little criticism, then you're never going to be cut out to be in this world. You need to know what you're doing wrong if you're ever going to get any better. Those are also excellent points, except when your approach is
art is a war and only the strongest will survive. You call this art? That third grader makes better art than this. Oh, you don't like that? You better toughen up and start being a man instead of being such a pathetic, whiny little bitch.
Okay. I have a little something that I'd like to say to both of you. As my good friend Andrew would say, let me explain myself. For those of you that don't want any negative comments in your critique, stop whining and maybe you'll start winning. Ask yourself, why are you here? Are you really here to learn, or are you here to hear how great you are? Personally, I would say if you just need your ego stroked, just put your work up on Facebook. Your family, your friends, they'll do a great job of buttering you up and telling you just how wonderful and talented you are. You can take that momentary little dopamine hit and live on in a blissful state of ignorant mediocrity forever if you want to. But if you're here to improve, you need to learn to take hard criticism. The thing is, we all have blind spots. And if we knew what those were, we wouldn't need a critique. You can wait however many years it's going to take you to figure out what you're doing wrong, or you can open your mind a little bit and let other people show us the things that we might just be overlooking. But if what you want is to hear how great and talented and wonderful you are and feed that little sensitive monster of an ego that's boiling below the surface, what you want is not called a critique, because critiques are for getting better at your craft. Now, to those of you who show up to the critique just to point out every mistake you can find, stop being such an asshole about it. I think you could also ask yourself why you're here. Are you here to constructively add to the conversation, or are you looking for your own little dopamine hit? Do you just want to get your ego stroked showing the world how great you are, how much better you are than the artists that you're tearing apart? If you're just here for that, go away. You're just ruining it for everyone else. Go fire up your anonymous profile on 4chan or wherever all the fucking trolls hang out. Have yourselves a nice big circle jerk about how stupid and shitty the rest of the world is except for you. But if you're really trying to help somebody improve, have a little respect. This isn't about you, and if you're just pointing out every flaw that you can find or saying that your third grader could do a better job, you're not helping anyone. You aren't even helping yourself. I sort of imagine that in your head, maybe you think people are reading your comments and they're thinking, man, they just nailed it there, just tore them apart, just destroyed their whole reason for being. Let me tell you the truth. Most people just see you being an asshole. You might think that people are so impressed to see that you can find every little flaw and that this means that you're so smart and so great. But if you're not here to actually constructively add something to the conversation, then what you're here for is also not a critique. because critiques are for being constructive. Now, to both of you, I offer the same humble bit of advice. Learn what the point of a critique is, and you'll get a lot better at it and get a lot more from it. What helps is to separate the artist's intent from the audience's taste. It would help to let us know what your intentions are. What do you consider your strong points? What do you already realize are your weaknesses? If the audience knows that, maybe someone can point out something that you're not even aware of. Something that might add an entirely new dimension to your work. What you're trying to do is you're trying to find the constructive pieces of criticism from the group that take you in the direction that you want to go. So don't let somebody else's taste tell you that you're doing it wrong. If someone's criticism doesn't align with your intentions, just don't listen to that. You're not here necessarily to tell them that they're wrong. Just know that it's up to you what pieces of criticism that you take forward into your work. That's the point of putting your work up for a critique. It's to find out where those blind spots are at and where you can get even better, and discovering what the next step is for you to get where you're trying to go. Not to defend yourself against everyone who doesn't agree. So, if you're the one providing the feedback, it helps to know the artist's intentions. If you're not clear on that, ask more questions. This isn't about you. This isn't about what you consider art. This isn't about what you consider good art. It's not about your taste, and it's not about you. If you don't get it, try asking some questions before you start firing off your criticism. And if you do a really good job of asking the right questions, you might unearth something for yourself that you take home to your own work. And then just like the artist in question, it's up to you what you do with that information. Okay, so I tried to save the best part for last. This is the root problem behind all of these problems. What it all comes down to. In fact, it's the cause of many problems in life that go way beyond critique. Leave your ego at the door. There is no room for your ego. All your ego wants is another petty little dopamine hit. If you want real gratification, listen up. Your ego is the part of you that doesn't want to critique. It's the part of you that wants validation. Think of it this way. You're your own worst critic. Do you really believe all of the praise that's being showered on you? But you know what will really make you feel good and will really last? Actually improving your work. Real progress is going to give you a positive feeling that lasts way longer, that withstands the test of your inner critic. So what your ego wants is praise and compliments and instant gratification, but I promise you, what you really need is a sense of fulfillment and real accomplishment. And to get that, you're going to need to open your mind so you can find out what you could be doing better. Pretty much the same thing goes for those of you coming to criticize. You're not helping anyone if you're just here to get your own validation. One thing that I personally like to keep in mind, you don't get any higher by tearing someone else down. You only get any higher by lifting yourself up. No one's putting their work out there to hear how smart and amazing you are and how great you are at pointing out all of the mistakes and what a thoughtful, deep, interesting person that you are. They want to get better. They'd like your help. But you can use this opportunity to do the same thing for yourself. Taking that nasty little pot shot at somebody and telling them how shitty their artwork is, maybe it makes you feel good for a minute. I don't know. But I am sure that deep down inside, you know that didn't get you anywhere. But if you can help the artist find that thing that they've been looking for, to realize what's not clicking, to become better in their own way, think of the sense of gratification that's going to get you. It's going to last a whole lot longer than some fleeting feeling of superiority. Your ego also wants instant gratification. It wants it in the form of condescension and arrogance and shifting the spotlight over to how great you are. But if you really want that lasting sense of accomplishment and progress, try helping someone get to their next level. If you're still here, thanks for having an open mind about all of this. It would be really easy to get defensive and to look at me as just another critical, condescending asshole who's trying to feel good about himself with his own air of superiority. But again, it comes down to intentions, and my intention is to help lift people up, to help people learn to have better and more productive critiques and just better conversations in general. I know these mistakes because I've made them too. I've been overly sensitive and defensive about my work. I've been overly insensitive and arrogant and maybe offensive about someone else's work. But think about it this way. Being defensive or being offensive is framing everything as a battle. And it's a battle that no one wins. If we can learn to be a little more constructive in our critiques and even in our unsolicited criticism, we can accomplish something a little more meaningful and worthwhile for ourselves and everyone involved. That way everyone wins, and not just because they're handing out trophies. It's always so fun hanging out with you guys. I know I'm not the quintessential artist or critic here, so hit me up in the comments. Let me know. Did I nail it? Should I have gone further? Did I go too far? I could take it. Let me know what you think. And if you were nodding along the whole time and thinking of a particular group who really needs to hear this, do everybody a favor. Drop this video in there. See what they think. My hope is that maybe this message can get out to some people and we can all start having more constructive and productive conversations online about our work. Totally a pipe dream. Until next time, peace.